Hey, 7th grade. This is your math lesson for Tuesday, April 14th. We will be grading some from lesson 149, and then we will be looking ahead at lesson 151, which is due on Thursday. Wednesday is your lesson 15 test, or lesson 150, test 15. So you'll be taking a test on Wednesday. I already put out some information about what you need to review for that, so pay attention to that. So the only math video I will have tomorrow, Wednesday, is just a short one reminding you of the test and maybe with an extra credit problem. All right? So let's first of all look at lesson 151. Anything that has to do with check writing, 7th grade. Writing checks, filling out a deposit slip, keeping track in the check register or whatever. You do not have to do any of that, okay? Your parents, hopefully, will sometime talk to you about handling money, finances, checking account, checkbook, and things like that. So I will let them do that. Parents, if you see that, that is your responsibility, at least this year. Probably next year I will do it better, as long as we don't have to teach like this. So anything having to do with writing checks, deposit slips, anything like that, 7th grade, you do not have to do. You can skip all of that. Talk to your dads about that. All right, let's look at lesson 151 first. Turn to 151 if you want to. We've already talked about using proportions to name the sides of similar triangles. So the proportion is the corresponding sides over corresponding sides. So we have B over Y, right? C over Z, and A over X, right? Now in today's lesson 151, due on Thursday, they're simply using these proportions to find the missing length of a side. All right? So we have 22, or we could go 11 over 22. So side over corresponding side, 11 over 22 equals, so we have 11 on the top, equals X over 32. All right? 11 over 22 corresponding sides, and X over 32. The X has to go with the 11, right? And then do the math. 22X equals whatever 32 times 11 is, and solve that. Okay, you know how to do that, and then that will be your measurement for the missing one. Do it real quick. 32 times 11 equals 352. 22x divided by 22. 352 divided by 22 equals 16 inches. X equals 16 inches. 16 inches. Okay? So just use that. Let's just work those proportions. All right. Remember, with talking about total investment, you may need to figure out the interest that is paid and then add the interest to the principal for total investment. So for look at your paper now for lesson 149. 149, number 3. Borrow $30,000, 6% interest, 5 years. What is his total amount that he owes? Now you have to figure out the interest. Okay, you don't necessarily have to have interest as an answer, but you need to figure out interest. 30,000 times 0.06 times 5 years. If you do that correctly, you came up with $9,000. So then your total investment is simply $30,000 plus $9,000. Your answer should be $39,000 for number 3. Number 5, the proportion for the corresponding sides would be 24 over 28 equals 18 over 21, or that can be switched, okay? 24 over 28 equals 18 over 21, or 18 over 21 equals 24 over 28, and that is similar. So you need the proportion, and you need S for similar. Number 6, the answers quickly for these signed quotients. That means you're dividing. If you're dividing two numbers with the same sign, it's positive. If you're dividing two numbers with different signs, divide and your answer will be negative. Number 6 is negative 8. 7 is plus 10. 8 is plus 12. 9 is plus 2. 10 is plus 2. And 11 is negative 6. Number 15. 60 increased by 6. Number 15. 60, and this is lesson 149. Increased by 6. And they want to know the percent of increase. Now we know that 60 increased by 6 is going to be 66, right? But they want to know the percent of increase. So you have 60 over, that's the total, 100, equals plus 6 over missing number. And the missing number is your percent of increase. Okay, missing number is percent of increase. It wants to know the percent of increase. It wants two answers. Percent of increase, and then it wants the number. Well, your number is going to be 66. Okay, but what is the percent of increase? 60x equals 100 times 6, 600. Divided by 60, divided by 60. 60 divided by 6, x equals 10. 10%. Right? So your percent of increase, x equals 10%. So you have your percent of increase and your final number, 60 plus 66. Let's do one more, number 16. Remember these. Number 16. It's the language. 16 is what percent of 40? 16 is what percent of 40, right? So the what is your missing number, and it's a percent that you're missing. So your missing number, your what, is over 100, right? This total is 100%. Percent is what you're missing. 16 is what percent of 40? And then do the math. 40W equals 100 times 16, 1600. 40 divided by 40, divided by 40, okay? See that? Knock off a 0. 160 divided by 4 would be 40. W equals 40. 16 is 40% of 40. 16 is 40% of 40. So your answer for 16 is 40%. Number 17, let me just give you the answer. See if you did that correctly. 17 is 34.54 cubic feet. Feet cubed. 34.54. Number 18. Solve the area of a square. That is simply 23 times 23. That should be 529 square inches. Answer to number 19. Go back to lesson 27. Lesson 71, if you're not sure about these, multiplying compound measures, the answer to 19 is 10 years, 355 days. Make sure you have lesson 151 finished for Thursday. Tomorrow is the math test, 7th grade. And don't worry about doing any work with checks. All right, parents, it's your responsibility. It's always your responsibility, and especially this year. So, all right.